figuring out how to make things look cool but function was a design challenge, but one that was very fun and rewarding. Hi, my name is Michael Shuffles, and I'm a senior concept artist at ILM. My favorite aspect of working on the show was just working with a team of people who understood visual effects very well. We have a production designer that comes from visual effects and a director that comes from visual effects. So for this shot, where Alfie meets the farmer, it was pretty dark, so we really played up the specularity of the metals and figuring out how to make it look good, but also with everything taken into account, like the lighting and the cinematography.
It's a miracle.
We would run through different designs of the simulants and what they could look like. But for Cammy, Gareth wanted to do something a little bit different. We ran through different designs of what this nose piece essentially could look like, and that it was possible for her to augment herself with different interchangeable parts. One thing that he brought up all the time is that he wanted everything that we designed to feel like they could fit into each other. So when we were designing the simulants, that was always a thought. For the elements that you see that aren't skin and human-like, how do they function? How do they fit into this person?
What do you want, sweetie?
For robots to be free.
This was the final look of the shot after she gets out of her escape pod. Task here was to figure out how to make it look as big as possible. James and I ran through a lot of different ideas and did quick sketches. Scale is king. So this is just using as many tricks as we can think of. Different patterns of light on the floor to show depth through cloud shadows. People running down. Scale of humans is always one of the best tools to use.
Gareth wanted to really see an entire world that was in this science fiction aesthetic of the creator. And so we would just pepper in just one shot, one environment, a little something in there, or even a big something. My name is Brett Northcutt, and I am a senior concept artist at Industrial Light and Magic. My job was to basically take these real world locations and then add sci-fi look. And we could extend anything in there, not only just the background, but it could be adding signage and beveling corners to just give it that proper look. A lot of what exists here is all the existing train station. They've added a few little pieces here and there. James Klein, the production designer, actually asked me to create a sort of a generic background that I slugged into a lot of these shots, which is this sort of science fiction looking image in the center, and then I would extend other areas. But we not only just worked on the background, we also added text signage and extension and graphics. This would have been the arrival or departure board over here. Just as we added all these different little pieces of science fiction to the various locations that they shot in the film, even Nomad has all these different locations to give the ship a feeling that it just goes on and on forever. It's this massive space station. And so this is just one of the many rooms that we don't see that much in the film, but it gives it such a great sense of scope to have so many different places that we get to see. This was a shot that had to establish Alfie going from one location to another. And so it needed to be easily readable, where you could see her against the background, but you would see this massive environment within Nomad. And so I deliberately designed this shot so that there was a shadow behind her, and then so she would pop in front of the shadow, and you would see her running. And you would even see the earth a little bit in the background. These are all of the elements that needed to be included in the shot to tell the story.
All personnel report to Nomad Missile Command. Repeat, this is not a drill.
This is another plate that they shot at a real-world location. I think it's a concert hall. And they added a few pieces of set dressing here to science fiction up the set. And I did everything from beveling edges here, adding sort of text signage in here, but most notably adding this giant circular gateway.
Repeat, this is not a drill. All personnel report to Nomad Missile Command.
I want every one of those flights turned back.
This is probably my favorite image that I created. And it's an image of Nomad crashing through the atmosphere. And James Klein had me really push it back with a lot of atmosphere. Trying to give it a sense of scale was really challenging. You really have to get in there with a lot of detail. There's so much breaking metal and tiny little fragments of metal and panels and things like that. And here are some escape pods just to give it some scale.